pretty tight-knit. We have a lot of control in this battleground. We've seen in the past JPL and the Johanna. Chromie can come out as well. And it's mostly a little bit more straight up in this early game, which is something that Diamond Skin's been pretty good at so far, so maybe they can find those turn-ins and try to get a victory, but I think Dignitas is trying to say, okay, listen, let's just have a straight-up battle, no shenanigans, see who can control these points better.
Yeah, I mean, again, 0-6 for Diamond Skin. If they break the series now against Dignitas, it would be more impressive than anything else, at least to me. They have their first pick now, so that of course changes also the draft MO slightly, since so far in the series Dignitas was always the team that had the first pick. So we had continuous Medivh bans by Diamond Skin. This is going to tell us now, do they maybe want to play Medivh themselves if they get their hands on him?
Diamond Skin's still thinking about that ban here. Is Chromie going to be a ban? We've seen it in the past on this battleground, but I feel like there's so many strong tanks now that you don't even think about that. It's going to be the Medivh, as you mentioned.
So they just go for the first ban or no first ban, first pick or no first pick. They don't really care about that. They take it away regardless. And Diamond Skin on the map, they haven't played Medivh here yet. I mean, they are very consistent. They play quite a bit of Johanna on the map. We've seen them with Blaze on the bottom lane a lot. I'm just not quite sure what to expect from them here right now. I would think more of the same, trying to lock Garrosh down, trying to get Genji for themselves. Could even result in a first pick on Genji because he accidents the map. Now Tracer's being banned out, get Rosmek on another good hero here. Because I feel if Diamond Skin doesn't pick Genji on the first rotation, Dignitas is definitely going to lock him in.
But it kind of goes away from some of their older values of getting Malf. There was a time when they ran a lot of Garrosh with that first pick. But I think you're correct when it comes to like the series right now. Genji's too important. Well, we're gonna go for the Garrosh though. So there he is. Diamond Skin looking to have that control. I'm gonna put on Robodoba and see if he's able to deliver some kills. Team Dignitas, will they move into that Genji? We've seen him play it in the past.
And Genji is great for the rotations here. You can simply pressure the bot lane so easily with Genji if you just rotate in all the time and use the mobility that he has to gank the bot lane a little bit if you run that 4-1 rotation style. So Dignitas, what are they going to start us off with? Do we see Malfurion or Stukov again taken as the supports that they are? We have seen a fair share of Diablo play by Dignitas already. This is another great map for Diablo, so it's one of the heroes that we could see here, especially if you're worried that Diamond Skin is targeting your font pool a little bit. And then to be fair, this is another map where Dignitas can play either Muradin, even the Stitches. This is the original Stitches map for a lot of teams like Fnatic and Dignitas.
What? I feel like it's gonna be Malf, right? Hanzo Malf? Okay, so there it is, Hanzo Malf coming in. It's because of the poke and also that track record for Zelia.
Which leaves Genji open for Diamond Skin if they wanted. So if they wanted for Rosmek, they still have the chance to get him here.
Genji Stukov, you think? Have we had Wolf Duo run Stukov?
Diamond Skin has currently on Stukov a track record of 0-1. They played him once, and they lost with that. In this series now, just to add that in, we didn't see them with Stukov yet.
I feel like
Sonya for the bot lane. Okay, I like that. So Sonya and Genji as expected. So Rosmek has his hero. Sonya for the bottom lane. Very similar setup of previous maps. So far, it's basically identical to what they played on Inferno Shrines. The only thing that we are missing here is the support, and I mean, back then they played Samuro. I guess we can safely assume that Samuro is probably not going to be played here by them.
Yeah, especially with Sony getting... Well,
I mean,
especially with Sony getting picked up, but Nande.
Now that I said it, the chances that they're actually going to pick it are
yeah,
increasing.
of course. So. They're going to show us some like top lane rush with Samuro that can like solo the boss by itself. We don't even know about.
Takes all the maps simultaneously.
I'm kind of curious to see if Dignitas bans Stukov, because like, as you mentioned, we don't get much Stukov from Wolf Joe. I feel like he'd be wanting to play an Uther or even a Karazim before he even wants to touch a Stukov from the trends that we've seen, as he's always moved into those heroes. So I'm wondering if Dignitas thinks that it's worth a ban here, and they're actually considering what exactly they want to get rid of.
I mean, Junkrat is another hero that you could still play here, and he adds the wave clear. The thing is, though, Dignitas, yeah, there we go. Dignitas can man him out, and they do. Junkrat banned out.
I was wondering about Gul'dan as well, because we've had Gul'dan from Rosmek once.
Yeah.
But he has a Genji.
Yeah, I mean, he's gonna, exactly, he's gonna be on Genji here. And Diamond Skin, again, we come back to that track record with heroes. Gul'dan is 0-5 for them.
Oh.
But it's still, again, their own 6 here. It's still a map where they played Gul'dan in the past. I mean, just putting a couple of numbers to those. How much did they play Gul'dan over here? They played him once on Tomb, so all the other losses that they have with Gul'dan on different maps, but they could still try and get the wave clear through Gul'dan. There's absolutely nothing stopping them on that part. But yeah, Dignitas on the other hand, right now, frontline. For JPL, this is really a map where he can basically play anything. You can play Johanna here, you can go into Muradin. We have seen him play Muradin here. Yeah, his Johanna play in the map wasn't really too successful yet. This is actually one where he suffered most of his losses on Johanna. He's 1-2 currently, and the Muradin is 2-0. Again, we have even seen, or we could even see them drop something like a Stitches. This was a map where Stitch was played a lot. I don't necessarily think that against the setup here you want to drop that. Want to go that crazy. But yeah, even ETC.
Tesla on Blaze. That Blaze is going to be for Wubby, I believe. So that front line is still up and available for Dig. You mentioned the Johanna and the wave clear. Murden if you're wanting to try and punish that Sonya and shut her down, but then you're kind of missing out on damage. Could it actually be a solo Blaze here?
They played Blaze quite a bit as the main tank.
Yeah.
So we had that on JPL. On this map, I believe, too, it was mostly Dragonshire where they played it, where they had Blaze as the solo. But okay, Diamond Skin, let's see what they got. First of all, in terms of supports, what's it going to be? I mean, right now we are still thinking about Stukov still out there. We haven't seen too much of that. If it's not Stukov, then you have the option of going for Uther and you have the option of going for Rega. Those are the likely choices. Just comboing off with Genji with a Divine Shield. But they also need a bit more wave clear and damage, and that's of course where we can question, is Gul'dan going to be the choice for them, or are we going to see something completely different?
It's time to find out. Gul'dan
and
Stukov. Okay.
Alright, second Stukov game that we have from them.
And now I want to find out if we're going to be having Wubby pulling out a different side lane here.
Well, you can still go Leoric here if you want to.
Yeah. Be good against Gul'dan and Stukov too, being able to drop that in too.
If you play Blaze as the main tank, but again, don't necessarily have to pull that off.
Interchangeable. Would an ETC be weird here?
I was thinking about that earlier, but I'm not
It's interchangeable, right?
It depends on who plays the hero. If they still go for a hero for JPL, I think it's Johanna or Muradin. Yeah. If they run Blaze as the main tank and they run Wubby on the off lane, then I would say they are probably looking towards Leoric.
Well, they're definitely taking their time.
Diablo's also still open, by the way.
There he is.
There we go.
So we'll be Blaze in that side lane, looking to wave clear, wave clear, wave clear. Diablo to force the fights. It has that force wall. Who do you like more in draft?
To be honest, I thought the draft that Diamond Skin had on the last map was pretty much eh. I didn't really like it too much. They made it look way better than I expected them to. I like this way more. So this draft for Diamond Skin is actually not bad at all. As again, a setup like how do you go through Blaze and Diablo, which is going to be the biggest question. I think the answer to that has to be a good silence, lockdown, and then just like getting completely Gul'dan in there. But I like what Diamond Skin had. I still feel this is a draft which they can win if they have the coordination that we saw in game number 1 and game number 2.
For me, I just can't underestimate the Diablo, man. When Diablo level 10 comes online, you have that force wall available to a combo, and then you just go through 13 and 16. We scale it now. You just throw that Diablo. It's such a terrifying figure to go against.
I just feel that Dignitas is done with this.
Yeah.
That's what the last map felt like a bit. The early lead for Diamond Skin, and at some point Dignitas was just like, okay boys, like this is getting silly. Like
we have to put more energy in than we were doing. Let's go.
So, well, I mean, we're going to find out right now if Diamond Skin is able to again tie the series up in Force Game 5. Heading into Tomb of the Spider Queen, map number 4. Robadoba on the left side for Diamond Skin, currently on Garrosh with Nandon, Sonya, Wolfjo on Stukov, Rosmek again on Genji, and Darkmog on Gul'dan.
On the right in the red, Wubby on Blaze, Zalia on Malfurion, Poik on Hanzo, Snitch on Tassadar, JPL playing Diablo, it's Dignitas.
Alright, let's find out if Diamond Skin still has a chance of going straight into that.
So far, their early game has been decisive and confident, which I have really enjoyed. So I'm hoping to see that. And they've also been matching in macro. So that's what I'm watching for here. Has Dignitas kind of cracking the code? Have they lit a fire to themselves? Are they ready to go? Are they going to shut down Diamond Skin's attempt so far? Or are we still in a spot where Diamond Skin in the early and mid game is actually of similar skill to Dignitas. That's the real question for me.
It's a good one. The thing is, like, the power levels that we have in Europe are always so difficult to judge with the performance that we get. Nice body blocks here by Roskmek, but there's a jet propulsion. JPL, on the other hand, is still falling. Great kill and good effort by Diamond Skin. The first blood against JPL here. And again, shout out to Roskmek here for the body blocks. It was a long way coming, that kill. They worked for it hard, but they finally got it.
Diablo falls. It's gotta hurt, but he'll be back pretty soon here, as the rest of Dignitas work towards clearing out those waves. And we've been seeing the auto attack build actually a little bit more against Garrosh. Poik seems to think differently here, moving into the scatter arrow, picking up that level 1. Help from Poke again, also you can finish that quest pretty easily around those turn-in points. Which is interesting to see the variation in builds between our teams. And hang on, speaking of Poik, getting tossed here. Robodoba seems to be the target though, as JPL trying to turn it around.
Yeah, Robo needs to be very careful with this. If Zelia has another route, then he's going to be in trouble. But it doesn't seem that way. Bot lane, Sonya still there. Roskmek has also been hit pretty hard. Now, again, when we talk about the combos here, one of the things to point out, we talked about it during the earlier series that we saw here today where Fnatic played against Method. Vision is insane. If you're Dignitas right now, you have insane amount of vision through Hanzo and Hassada. So your control over the turn-in points should be pretty significant, and this is what they're going to look for. Try to dominate through the turn-ins and get those. Nice flip here. Zelia actually in a lot of trouble. Robodoba goes in, but JPL creates some space, and Zelia is able to walk out of this one. Still a great job by Diamond Skin and good aggression.
I love that he's able to walk away from that. I feel like I see that happen, I'm like, oh, that's a dead Malfurion. Like, instantly. I write them off. And Zelia just drops a root and walks to his team. Hanzo able to drop down a couple scatter arrows and make Gul'dan feel a little bit lower. And Darkmark just couldn't chase that kill down.
I mean, a lot of this comes down to Diablo, really. Just being there. But this time, this is not happening because we see the kill against Hanzo. 2 for 0. Diamond Skin again in the early game. I mean, these boys have just found their confidence and their stride. This is looking so much better than what we've seen the entire season from them. And we already recommended them for the performance against Trick. But yeah, Diamond Skin looking strong here. And again, they just come from an 0-3 loss against Fnatic where they got played to the wall.
JPL trying to combo Robodoba again into the wall, but missing out on it. I thought he would try to go for Darkmonk there, because Darkmonk was in a bit of a peculiar position trying to bait out those fights.
Yeah, Darkmonk is also in a spot where he really needs to get the stacking going. He's currently sitting at 7 stacks, so a lot is going to hinge on him later on. How much can he stack? How much can he actually accomplish to make sure that he gets that Echo Corruption completed? The later team fights are going to depend very much on that.
And Dignitas is actually kind of behind on gems. 45 to 34 at the moment. Those 2 kills hurting just a tad bit. Diamond Skin will have their first turn in pretty quickly here, and JPL is actually trying to look for these kills. He keeps diving on top of Garrosh here.
Another couple of stacks here. Also for Gul'dan. Again, Darkmark getting those in. A bit out, but yeah, the interrupts are starting to get chunk in here. And Roskmek is always just rotating, trying to see if he can maybe put some pressure on the bot lane, make Blaze's life harder, make it a bit easier for Sonya. Staying there, interrupt maybe another couple of stacks for Darkmark. Currently sitting at 10, so he's a 4th in. Turn-ins are still happening on both sides as Vision is being played around with, and we talked about Hassada, we talked about Hanzo. The vision they provide over the turn-in spots, so Dignitas is always in the know of what exactly is going on there.
Both teams now have their full turn-in, and Dignitas is looking to drop off, as you mentioned, 14 gems going in. 7 about to hit for both of our teams. That's when that Diablo will become a little bit more scary, of course. I'm watching him here as he's actually looking for another possible engage with Malfurion to back him up.
I mean, the longer this back and forth lasts, the better also for Darkmark. Again, Gul'dan really needs to stack, and he's currently trying to get that in. And so far, he's doing fairly well. I mean, he is getting the stacks in there, currently sitting at 12. Gets another triple hit right there. I mean, we've seen a couple of Gul'dan players around level 16 with the Ruinous Affliction, still not really completely done with the Echoed Corruption, but if he keeps it up, he's definitely going to hit that in time. So at that point, it's still all about the turn-ins. You mentioned the 7, which is important here. Dignitas has taken a slight lead in turn-ins, 33, but both teams can now rely on the extra talent.
The poke here has been kind of annoying for Dignitas. Diamond Skin being able to get the lead in the gems, but not able to turn in as easily. Tassadar and Malfurion even Blaze to a degree. Really annoying delay tactics available. I'm actually watching Dig here. Let's see if they can get this turn in. Hanzo's going for it here. Gonna have a root pop in. Darkmonk gets hit. JPL gets a combo.
Yeah, that was actually a good turn in here from Wolf Joe and from Roskmek. So there are 27 gems in against 33. Teams on level 8 right now. The question is simply the solo laners are usually the focus of the turn-in ambitions, because those hold a lot of the gems. So Blaze is currently sitting at actually only 6 since Wooby was able to turn in, but Nanda is at 32. And so Nanda, Sonya, he really wants to get rid of that as much as he can. Also that he's free in those fights to play a bit more aggressive. But down here at the bot lane, he just like has to still hold the line, and Wooby is keeping tabs on him and on what's happening here. So it's very tricky for Sonya to get close enough to a turn-in spot to make it happen.
Especially with that wave clear coming in from Blaze, so difficult to try and prevent him from being able to stop you. Now they actually put Garrosh and Sonya both down there, and the thing is, while this continues to happen, 10 is getting around here. We're 1 level away for Diamond Skin. Zelia getting hit there with a Groundbreaker, but thanks to his shields, just fine.
Yeah, Zelia needs to be careful. He's only in half HP, and the problem is if he goes back now, then Diamond Skin would have an easier time turning in, so that's what he's attempting to avoid now. That's one of the reasons why we don't see him hark back here, waiting maybe also just simply for the Fountain to come back. Turn-in still not happening, and we are actually closing in on 10. Like, this is a really late first turn-in that we're seeing, no matter who it happens for. That was a great move, though. JPL trying to dart out, saving himself here, basically. Well done by Diablo. But still a nice aggressive move from Diamond Skin, trying to get that kill confirmed.
Ooh, Snitch getting the last second delay there with the Side Storm, but puts himself in a position where Robodoba steps up. Wolby comes around from the corner, though, is able to delay just enough. At the same time, Dig is trying to turn in the top lane, but Wolf Joe and Golden are delaying it.
10, any second now.
Oh, Darkmonk though! One scatter arrow, man.
Yeah, Darkmonk, he needs to be super careful. There's the 10. Can they maybe use that somehow? Any kind of snap call that we see, snap horrify, not happening. So it's 10 on both sides, and Robodoba is immediately caught in a bit of a corner there, but able to throw Wooby away. Eats the damage from Poi. Scatter arrow coming through. Turn-in attempts from both sides. By now we have another set turned in by Dignitas, another 11. But once that Sonya gets close, that's all that they need. Wooby, on the other hand, also trying to turn in again, and it is only Stukov that is able to deter him from doing so.
Was that Twilight Dream an attempt to try and stop Genji from coming in there? Because Zelia just dropped down on Twilight Dream. Didn't land on anybody.
Oh, we did?
Yeah.
I didn't miss that.
He got interrupted and just straight up dropped the Twilight Dream.
All right, Darkmonk by now 17.
Arrow.
Arrow on him. Apocalypse.
Okay.
Horrify attempt. That didn't work. And now they need to try and pick up these gems. Roskmek is immediately there, but there's also a force wall. Roskmek squeezing through, but Zelia with a turn in, and he gets interrupted. But I don't think they can interrupt him again. This is going to be Zelia's turn in, and this is going to be the first web we will
Especially with that wall combo. It's just a little bit too much. Diamond's going to hand it back up.
But still, I mean, there's a couple of things happening here. First of all, the death of Gul'dan was, of course, annoying, but at the same time, also, they recovered the gems. So, at the end of the day, it's a web weaver wave for Dignitas that you now have to face. And that's where they try and defend. As long as they hold on to the gems, they should be fine here. But, of course, the question is, how much does Dignitas get out of this now?
Well, already they're working on this middle wall. But Darkmonk being back, though, should be able to clear that up pretty quickly. Blaze, by himself to the south, should be able to get that lane pushing in. So Dignitas trying to split the resources of Diamond Skin and seem to be doing pretty well. Rue comes out, no force wall yet. Robodoba comes in to be a bit annoying, gonna throw someone over the wall and maybe get them in like that fort, but Team Dignitas holding that pretty well.
I mean, so far, Diamond Skin is actually doing fairly well with the defense. Also, here comes the engage again. JPL is in. Wooby wants a piece of the action. Sonya is still at the bot lane, so you need to be cautious here. Darkmonk, by the way, 32 stacks on his level 1 talent on the Echoed Corruption, so he's actually getting the work done. But Dignitas is walking away with only half a level lead so far.
And they get the benefit, though, of breaking down those walls, so if they can go for a second turn in here, if they can get it off, that's where they can start to break out some forts. Same time, Roskmek is currently bruised a little bit, and so is Garrosh. Snatch actually taking a bit of a beating there, also walking into some corruption stacks.
Yeah, he's actually getting a lot of damage pushed on
Arrow.
him. Arrow comes out. Apocalypse again. There's the combo. Do they get the kill? Darkmonk goes down. Yes, they do.
And the bunker there, too, just to make sure that Blaze can get out. Looks like Darkmonk's going to drop a pause, probably walking into a little bit of lag there.
Yeah, definitely not going to be too happy about that. I mean, that was the second kill that we saw against Gul'dan now. And the combo with Arrow into Apocalypse is really starting to work here quite well. So it's the second time that we saw the combo executed, and that definitely hurt quite a bit. In total, 2 kills against 2. But whatever caused the commotion here, whatever problem they ran into, apparently it's already resolved, so we're going to jump back into the game. But the situation remains, of course, the same. Dignitas, thanks to that kill, will get another turn in, and they also have the talent advantage now. So this is really the moment when you can start to snowball against Diamond Skin.
They'll be looking for forts here, definitely. They have opened up all walls in that last web of your turn in. So let's see which forts they can get. Priority. Pushing this middle lane, especially with this night camp, opening it up a little bit, and then deciding how Diamond Skin defends. You can peel yourself off into a different lane, and that's where you strike and take out that fort. Diamond Skin, though, wisely grabbed their own night camp, hoping to clear it out and save themselves in the middle lane, but with Wubby and crew already leading the charge, they will definitely get a massive push going.
Yeah, this is really where it starts to become extremely worrisome from the perspective of Diamond Skin, because this can really hurt. If Dignitas gets a kill when they start to push in here, they can really take a lot of the infrastructure and the experience and just completely run this. So I'm curious to see how much Dignitas can get done. The top lane is already being attacked here in the middle lane. The fort is definitely going to fall. You can't hold on to that. Diamond Skin has their 13 now, so they took it a bit easy. Sonya with the defense of the bot lane. Up to the top, Gul'dan with his Echo Corruption that he's dropping. That works out. But this is a really difficult push to hold, especially, of course, with the spell also coming in.
They're just going to straight up open a keep wall. There you go. Double turret, some experience going. They can rotate to the top lane if they would like and get this fort. They may even be able to catch this Gul'dan. There goes the arrow. Darkmont goes to dodge out on it. JPL goes in for the minion just to make sure he can catch Gul'dan, and they get him. Darkmont having a hard time, but it's hard. You know, with arrows flying across the screen, you can't dodge them.
Double, it's literally impossible. Double fort and the Gul'dan kill, and that of course translates immediately into a boss. That's what Diamond Skin is thinking. Can we maybe somehow? But the answer is just no. Like, you can't go into this. You can try and turn in, but even that gets interrupted by JPL. So they can't even get the turn in to stop the boss for free. They are trying to get that now done at the bot lane, but Zelia is already thinking about moving in. JPL is moving in again. Nanda finally, just before JPL gets the interrupt, is able to make that play. Boss is already on his way up to the top where we see Gul'dan facing off against it. So Diamond Skin buys themselves a little bit of time with that turn-in.
Buy a little time here, but 16 will still go over to Dignitas. We'll be already here in the bottom lane. This should be a pretty easy cleanup for Dignitas, and at least they got some gems wasted. The sad part is they did use Apocalypse to try and delay that push, or that turn-in, but they didn't have an idea of where Sonya was. Sonya was able to sidestep it and get that drop-off. And now it's all about the blue web weavers. How quickly will Dignitas clean them up with this talent advantage? I
mean, they shouldn't lose anything here.
No.
This is just really to buy time to defend the boss. That's what Diamond Skin was intending to do here. The next problem is the I mean, it's a double level advantage and the talent advantage. Diamond Skin is now in one of these spots where you just sit there and you just get beaten down the entire time until you finally hit 16. That's what we're currently seeing there. Also being forced into the X-Strike. This is just like, Diamond Skin is like a boxer on the ropes at this point, just trying to defend and just taking hit after hit until he sees an opening. And that opening is not going to come until Diamond Skin hits their 16 or someone on the side of Dignitas runs it down mid, and I just don't see that happening. Well, 16 is really what you have to wait for now, and then you need to force something.
Well, they're only a level away from that 16, so it's doable.
Yeah, but there's another turn.
Piling it on, oh my gosh.
Yeah, like the hits keep coming.
Yeah. Did that boss actually get the keep wall on the top left? That's the major concern there. If it got the keep wall, that could be a keep. Okay, it's a gate, one turret. Manageable.
Still a level away from 16. And here's the web weaver wave. And the siege chance at the bot lane. So you can really start to focus your efforts onto the middle, onto the top. Like wherever you want to go, you can pressure. They are already trying to burn down the fort before the web weavers even come in. And then they can just go straight through the bot lane if they wanted to. The siege giants plus the web weavers. I mean, they're going to get value no matter what, so where they concentrate their efforts. They're starting to move into the middle now. Bot lane will still heavily pressure with the camp and the web weavers. Top lane needs to be defended. The wall is gone, so the keep is being attacked. Like, Dignitas, they want to keep with this.
And they'll probably get it. Here comes the wave. Stukov doing his best to help clear it up. Hanzo Arrow comes out looking for Wolfjo. Wolfjo sidesteps it well.
Yeah.
Rosman goes in for a little bit of harassment. JPL tries to catch him, but the X-Strike comes out.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, the bottom lane is starting to get pushed in here. The Giants are finally showing up.
And over here in the middle, this keep is already a goner. Question is, how much damage can they do at the bot lane? That's really the big one. If they can get the double keep now, I mean, that would be the dream. That would be absolutely fantastic. And to be quite honest, Dignitas has a very good shot at taking the second keep down as well. 16 is still not there for Diamond Skin. Gul'dan completes Echoed Corruption, so that helps. But they have to defend the middle. Bottom keep is falling. So what we're looking at right now is Dignitas holding on to every single fort they have, looking at a 3-level lead and double keep down. It doesn't get much better than that.
Diamond's instead of fight now. They're positioned for it. Robodo's coming around.
They need to.
Nade's here as well, but they're getting scouted out. Dignitas checking every avenue they can.
I mean, if you are Diamond Skin, you want to force now. You need to try and turn in and force a fight around that after you defend the bot lane.
Nade has fear still. Wobby goes in. Oh my gosh. Sony gets chunked down by a scatter arrow.
Yeah.
Obliterated.
And there comes the arrow. There comes the kill against Genji. That's 32 gems. 50 on Garrosh. Robodoba gets taken down maybe by Poik. Yes, that happened. And now we're seeing Dignitas saying, you know what, we don't even need 20, we just go for core here. Double kill, double keep down, and they are just obliterating them. Gems are lost. At this point, Diamond Skin lost more than 60 gems already as we see Stukov fall. And Dignitas is starting to close out the series. What started with Diamond Skin looking strong on map number 1 and map number 2 ends with Dignitas just showcasing why they are in the number 1 spot in the European standings. They go for the core and they are dropping it. They're dropping Sonya, they're dropping everything. 7 kills against 2. Dignitas goes in and they confirm the 3-1 victory over their opponent.
Ugh, it doesn't stop either. Another kill on Gul'dan, but 4 time expires, 20 hits. Dignitas with the 3-1 over Diamond Skin, as you mentioned, showing why they are the number 1 team here in the HGC. But still, Diamond Skin coming out and giving a little bit of run for their money in the early game. Good to see that from them, but when it came to game number 4, it seems like they kind of puckered out a little bit. Dignitas able to push through with that experience and kind of light that fire that we know that they have underneath them.
And again, if you have a bit more experience when you're Diamond Skin and you are able to confirm the victory on map number 1, we are looking at a completely different series. They played fantastic games today. It's very impressive from Dignitas that they always came back, that they always had this like little twist where they said, okay, this one chance, this is what we need, and then we're back in the game. But at the same time, I'm impressed by Diamond Skin, and I have to say, if they work on these small late game calls and are able to just play this maybe a little bit more calm, in the example of Infernal Shrines, make that snap call where they say, okay, we can get a little bit more out of this situation, then they definitely have it in them to maybe not quite defeat Dignitas, but take the second map and push Dignitas in a really awkward spot. So kudos to Diamond Skin, well played today, but of course also congratulations to Dignitas for another big victory.
Now, from what I'm hearing, when it comes to the interview, we will not be getting part 2 of the story with Xaylia and the jet that they drove around the entire city with, because it sounds like Xaylia had his wisdom teeth pulled, since he's not able to talk well right now.
I really don't care.
So he's not going to be part of the event. I know you don't care, but we're gonna be a little nice today. We're gonna let him slide.
Why?
And maybe we'll get it another time.
We can still ask whoever else we get. We probably get Snitch, so we're gonna ask him.
Yeah, maybe Snitch knows the rest of the Jet story. The problem is like it doesn't have the Xaylia storytelling aspect, right? Like it's like listening to Decker Kane and I can't say that because it's political. I was trying to tell a story. I almost said Trump telling the story. Like, you just don't want to listen to one of them. We'll let you decide on that. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that. Gosh, I should not have gone down that route. I apologize.
Like,
no, we cannot. We cannot.
So what are you saying is that...
Yeah, I don't know. Just one of those things that we don't want to get into. So we'll wait for Xaylia to tell that story later on.
Great storyteller.
Thank you. Yeah, exactly. So Stitch will be having us soon.
And listen.
Dude, speaking of, Decker Kane's coming to the game. You excited for that?
Yeah, I mean... I think everybody that played Diablo at some point said you need to bring Deckard Cain in, and one of his ults has to be stay a while and listen.
And they delivered.
So there's a lot of people that are popping up. I said it for so long. And it's like, yeah, join the rest of us.
Did it
like,
because of
it's the most obvious thing.
Well, we have Snitch here from Team Dignitas. Snitch, hello, and welcome to the HGC. As always, it's good to see your face. How you feeling, buddy?
Feeling pretty good.
Yeah.
It was a really competitive series. I felt Diamond Skin really showed up today. They played really, really well. But I'm glad that we were able to, stay calm and just take the win pretty confidently, I feel.
Did you expect the fire to come out from Diamond Skin today? Was this a series that you guys were looking at thinking, okay, this should be a nice 3-0 for us? Or did they surprise you guys?
To be honest, it's really, I think, about what we expected. At least in practice, Diamond Skin feel really, really strong. It kind of feels like they're a team that kind of lives and dies by Rosmeg. That guy's actually very mechanically strong, and he's a super, super aggressive player. I think you can definitely notice that, like, in his style and the way he plays with the Genji, with the Chaser. Like, he's always pushing his, like, limits constantly. And I think, like I said, I kind of think about Diamond Skin as living and dying by Rosmeg. Like, he's either making the perfect plays and he's putting so much pressure out and he's literally carrying the team, like pretty much with like just the amount of space he's creating for everyone else.
Sure.
Or he's getting caught like an idiot and instantly dying and losing the game. So it's kind of like, it just depends which one shows up in each game. But yeah, so I think most of our strategy is just, keep an eye on Rosmeg, and then we should be able to confidently take it.
EU, no filters whatsoever. Caldor and I were actually talking about him being the Poik of 2018. Would you agree with that assessment or that comparison?
I don't know if I think as well-rounded as Poik was, but
Sure.
I do think, he's definitely kind of a high-tier carry, at least in the league. Yeah, for sure. I think he definitely has a lot of potential. I think it's just mostly about, kind of like growing as a player and like getting a bit more, consistent with those limits. Because I think it is really good to be an aggressive player at the start. I think it's far easier to transition into becoming like a more safe player if you start as an aggressive one. It's easier to taper it back. So I think it's a much better foundation than being like a safe player trying to learn to be aggressive, So yeah, I do think he definitely has the tools. And if he puts in the work, for sure, I think he could be definitely a star in the EU HGC in the future.
Awesome. Over to Caldor.
Well, congratulations, first of all. It was a very entertaining series, and I'm coming back to map number 1 right away. What do we think about Samuro right now? We've seen him already once played in the setup from Method. Now we've seen him a lot in the Open Division. I'm not quite sure if you watched the playoffs in any capacity, but now we have him here too. What do you think about the hero?
Yeah, we've definitely seen him a bit. He's definitely appeared in scrims here and there. I'm not really sure what to think. Like, it kind of feels like a hero where if you have a keep down, he feels really, really strong because you have the constant core pressure, stuff like that. But my personal opinion is if you have a Samuro, it should be pretty hard to get a keep down. That's just kind of how it feels. But yeah, if the conditions do work out, he does feel like really strong. He puts a lot of pressure. He has some really good matchups within the meta right now. So he definitely has a place. But I'm not exactly entirely sure where he fits, and it could be a case of like people not really knowing what to do against it, which makes it a little bit stronger. But yeah, I think over time we'll see him settle a little bit more. Maybe he'll become like a more common pick, but right now I'm still a little bit hesitant to say that he's, solid in the meta.
Well, we're on heroes. Let's talk a little bit about the Varian rework for a second. We've seen Varian now twice today, once in the series that you just played and once previously when we had Fnatic coming in. What's your take on the hero at this point? Do you feel like the reworks put him in a better spot? Or do you think we just see him now because teams are willing to experiment a bit more since he just got the rework?
I think it's a bit of both. I do think it feels like it should be a better place for him. I think he fits the competitive meta a lot better with the rework, so his heroics are at 4. I think it's just naturally going to sit better in competitive. Like, an early power spike is much more valuable than it used to be with him at 10. But he did trade a lot of his like tankiness for that and his later teamfight power. It is a little bit different. Like, he traded, like I said, the tankiness. Now he has kind of like, a lot of people are taking Warbringer at 10 just because Shield Wall feels very awkward to play with because you only have the one charge in comparison to the old variant. So like the constant charging can be a little bit frustrating to play against, like if you're not familiar with it, and some heroes can get really punished by that. And if he does get ahead, he does feel really, really strong. But yeah, he loses a lot of his tankiness. So if you end up even with him, it can be really awkward. Like, there was times where, Rob was trying to play aggressive, but he just can't keep up with the sustain or whatever. But I think the rework should put him in a good place. Maybe it will require some number tweaks to make him a little bit more popular, but I think he looks good.
All right, awesome. Thank you.
Sunday, you're facing off against Method. How is that match going to go down, Snitch?
I think it's going to be really close. I think Method have definitely had their ups and downs so far in this part, but I always say, I'm scared of Method. They have a good roster, they have talented players, and, they've already shown within this part that they can clutch it if they need to. Like, they've had these 35-minute games that they somehow win against all odds. Like, I think we definitely have to be ready. We definitely have to be prepared. But I think, like with every series we play, if we're confident, if we play our A game, we'll be able to win pretty convincingly.
All right, man. We'll all see you on Sunday. But before you go, shout-outs.
Cool. Shout-outs to my team. Shout-outs to Team Dignitas and our sponsors and our friends at the Dig Squad who are watching at the viewing party. Wowee. Sadly, I don't have any stories about the Dignitas yet. We're going to have to wait for Zalea on that one. I'm actually not familiar, so I'm actually as excited as the rest of you are. Too. So, but he did actually get his wisdom teeth removed today and somehow managed to play. So that guy's a real trooper. So hopefully he'll be ready on Sunday to continue his big tale, as we're all really, really excited.
He probably forgot by Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's made up a story, man.
He's like, what's a Dignitas? Like, he's just lost it. As soon as he finished the story, it was just gone from his head. No, but make sure to tune in on Sunday for our game against Method, and yeah, GG's for Diamond Skin.
Awesome. Congratulations to Dignitas and Snitch as they get the victory. And Zilla, we're looking forward to that story, man.
Dude.
So do what you got to do. Eat ice cream, gummy bears, whatever. Fix those teeth. We need you on Sunday.
I can totally see him coming in. Just like, wait, what?
Wait, what?
What did
are
I
you
say?
talking
Like,
The Mountain Dew lady story?
I
Is that
did?
what-
Really? I said that?
Tomorrow we got more matches coming at you. Let's go ahead and check out the schedule. We'll be starting the day off with Tricked Esports versus Leftovers. I have no idea what's going to happen in the series, but you should be here. Crucible is looming around the corner, and this is going to be a big match for those two.
Oh yeah, this is going to be an insanely important match. And Liquid Diamond Skin is also starting to look a lot more interesting.
Yeah.
All of these games, all of a sudden, I think tomorrow is going to be fantastic. First of all, we need to see what Trick can do. Leftovers, are they as aggressive as we've seen? The meta seems to fit them. And then, of course, it's Liquid versus Diamond Skin, which is another pretty big highlight because Liquid still wants to get those playoff spots and make sure, okay, that they go to the mid-season brawl. That has been a declared goal for them. And they look fantastic the last couple of days.
They have. And, of course, North America will have more matches for you. But we have more coming up next as HGC North America. We'll be bringing you some 6 series. Dread and Jay, how to cast. We're done here in Europe. My name is Trickster. That's Caldor. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for hanging. To pull Dignitas over, and Dignitas just instantly goes in. There's a silencer. Hardened Shield came out though beforehand. Gonna have Sonya staying alive here. Darkmok keeping up, has her whirlwind pretty soon. Diablo tossed in to the corner.
Samuro's here. They're going in for it. They're trying to win the fight here. They're going for that.
Oh, he falls.
Samuro goes down. He's dead, and that's bad. The second death comes in. We are seeing Genji obliterated. And this started out fantastic for Diamond Skin, but now they lost 2 and they're losing 3. The top lane is still pushing someone in, which is what they do. Whoopi eating a bit of damage here. Map control has gone over more or less Dignitas. There's a big silence coming out. Apocalypse is coming in. And is that the kill?
Is he having an arrow?
None is getting away for now.
He's in the back left corner though.
Whoopi wants it. Whoopi wants
gets him!
He gets him.
Wow. Arrow comes out too. There's a force wall as well. Wubby comes in. We'll have another swing. JPL goes in for the combo. Looking at Darkmok, puts him in the corner. Robodobo in the back right, trying to taunt him, but he eventually gets picked off there as well.
Yeah, there comes the shield. Robodoba is still alive. The question is for how long? Snitch needs to be careful. Whoopi on the other hand with the sanctification coming in right here. There's the kill. That's the first one. Reset is in as Sonya goes down and Snitch once more. He goes for Robodoba. He gets the second kill. Murden jumps out just barely as we still see Roskmek trying to look for potential counter kills.
Snitch coming back in and he gets a 3rd kill and we'll be looking for a 4th. Wolfjo is the next target as Boy continues to chase. The bot lane is in trouble, but Murden is already on his way to help out. Wolfjo drops down a root so he's able to escape. We'll be bringing down the smite while Snitch continues to chase. And finally, there's going to be another kill here for Team Dignitas. He does clear them up. Hanzo Arrow is about to be up pretty soon here, so Poi can force a fight if he finds the target. Roskmek already jumping around. There goes the Holy Ground. Roskmek is pinned into a corner. He pops a recall. Ooh, the arrow misses though. Wubby is low.
Whoopi's down. Roskmek with a kill. Goes in and gets that kill. That's the first one. Roba trying to get the slide, but he misses. He doesn't get the stun in. They're still working on that Immortal, and all of a sudden we're seeing Diamond Skin again taking the lead here when it comes to the objective. They're looking strong here. Dignitas presses forward, but Point goes down. Roskmek again with a kill. Like experience, but we still talk about that second punish here. Robodoba gets thrown in deep. Again, the Warlord's challenge. The taunt is there. Robo on Varian nearly falling, trying to move away, having a rough time with it though, but Whoopi is also low, and here comes the Riptire.
Riptire comes in, hits Wubby, he's low, grenade connects. Next gonna be Zilly here, locked down here with a charge. Roskmek goes in with the X-Strike, going straight for Trish, or Tassar. Snitch is in trouble. Shuriken finishes the kill. Next will be JPL as everyone focuses him down. He's gonna get a shield for a second, but it is not enough. Zalia will back up and try to get some experience. He knows his life is done for, and he will get picked off. Diamond Skin, after a 3-minute fight, is able to control this top point.
It's a scout right there because everybody else just walked past and Snitch was just like, wait a second. That smells fishy. All right, Poik. Oh, Roskmek.
Taunt comes out, he's gonna get thrown and gets punished.
You defend the bot lane.
Nande has fear still. Wubby goes in. Oh my gosh. Sony gets chunked down by a scatter arrow.
Yeah.
Obliterated.
And there comes the arrow. There comes the kill against Genji. That's 32 gems. 50 on Garrosh. Robodoba gets taken down maybe by Poik. Yes, that happened.
And now we're seeing Dignitas saying, you know what, we don't even need 20, we'll just go for core here. Dignitas just showcasing why they are in the #1 spot in the European standings. They go for the core and they are dropping it. They're dropping Sonya, they're dropping everything. 7 kills against 2. Dignitas goes in and they confirm the 3-1 victory over there.